You want to leave a mark, not a bruise, not a trace of ownership, but a memory, a somatic imprint, a resonance that lingers in her nervous system long after the sheets are cold. You want her to remember you, not just the act, but the feeling, the rupture, the opening, the moment. She didn't just feel your hands, but felt herself more fully because of them. It's easy to confuse intensity with intimacy, but she doesn't want you to be loud. She wants you to be tuned, toned, able to feel the quiet tremors in her that she herself may not yet understand. Because the unforgettable is not loud, it is precise. It lives in nuance, in the pause before you touch her, in the question that never leaves your lips, but is felt all the same. Consent is not merely permission. It is the choreography of mutual longing. It is a dance in which she says yes with her whole body, where her skin leans toward you, her eyes soften, and her mouth parts slightly. Not out of it starts with safety, not seduction, obligation, but desire. You are not there to push. You are there to perceive, to listen not only with your ears, but with your hands, your breath, your stillness, because stillness is not absence. Stillness is presence. Stillness is the refusal to rush through the sacred. There is a place in every woman where she wants to be taken, and a place where she wants to be held. One is not better than the other. They are both true. She wants to surrender, but only when she knows she won't be dropped. And you must hold both, the part of her that craves to be ravished, and the part of her that has been hurt by those who didn't stay long enough to gather what they had stirred. What will make you unforgettable is not how much she screams your name. It's the way she breathes deeper the day after, the way her spine relaxes when she thinks of your hands, the way she returns to her body, because you reminded her it was a place worth inhabiting. Touch her like Acrophiras if her landscape is undiscovered, because it is. Every woman you meet is not every woman you've known. If you arrive with certainty, you will miss her. If you arrive with curiosity, sheer erotic intelligence, desire meets, emotion will unfold slowly, maybe reluctantly, maybe wildly, but she will show you what no one else has seen, because you stayed long enough to notice the language of her edges. There is no script. There is no secret sequence that unlocks her. The key is not in your performance. It is in your attunement. When you enter her body, do not leave your own, because she will feel it. She will feel when you are there to get somewhere, to prove something, to achieve a reaction that validates your worth. But what if you let go of the outcome? What if the goal wasn't to impress her, but to meet her, to see what emerges between you when both of you stop trying to be someone and instead become something? This is what eroticism truly is. Not friction, but expansion. It's not how hard or fast you go. It's how deeply you're willing to sink into the unknown. And that unknown begins with the question, were you when you're not trying to be good in bed? Can you look at her and not see her as something to win? Can you? Her like you're listening. Like her pleasure is not an achievement, but a communion. There is no algorithm for arousal. There is only responsiveness. She will teach you everything you need to know if you know how to listen, making her feel deeply seen without asking. Noticing is foreplay. Noticing is the aphrodisiac. Noticing is what separates the lovers who leave a trace from the ones who barely brush the surface. Her body is not a problem to be solved. Her pleasure is not a puzzle to be decoded. It is a conversation, one that will change every time you meet her again. Because desire is not static. It's a live fluid, shifting. She may want to be devoured today, and tomorrow she may want to be held so gently that her bones forget their burden. That means you must remain open, not just to her but to yourself, to your own fears, to your own longings, to the ways you too crave to be seen and touched without needing to perform. Because the lovers we never forget are the ones who made us feel like we didn't have to try so hard, who didn't ask us to be anything except honest, present, awake, unforgettable. Isn't about control, it's about surrender. But not the cliché kind, not the one where we romanticize collapse. No, real surrender is conscious. It's choosing to let go because you feel why grounded confidence wins safe, because you know the other is still holding you even in your most vulnerable moment. And that's the paradox. She will surrender when she feels your strength, not the strength of your arms, but the strength of your presence, the steadiness of your intention, the depth of your attention. That is what allows her to relax, to expand, to trust. There is a kind of strength that has nothing to do with domination and everything to do with devotion, the kind that says, I am here not just for this night, not just for your body. I am here for whatever unfolds when two people stop pretending and begin to listen with their whole beings. You see, the difference between being good in bed and being unforgettable lies not in what you do, but in how deeply you pay attention. Technique without attunement is choreography without music, and she will know, she will feel it in the shallow strokes, in the scripted rhythm, in the way your body moves with her body, but not with her. Presence is not about being physically there. It is about being emotionally available, erotically alert, psychologically attuned. When you creating tension without force are truly present, she feels it in the way you breathe her in, the way you wait, the way your eyes linger, not on what you want, but on what is. Then it's a myth that being unforgettable means being wild, aggressive, forceful. But the truth is, what leaves a lasting imprint is not power, over it is presence with. The unforgettable lover isn't Theone who takes her somewhere. It's Theone who meets her where she is and stays unflinching even when the terrain shifts, especially when the terrain shifts, because presence is not static. Presence is an ongoing negotiation between what she feels and what you notice, what she signals and what you sense. When she closes her eyes, is it because she's lost in pleasure or because she's disappeared? When she gasps, is it because you surprised her or because she wasn't ready? These questions are never answered by asking. They're answered by watching, listening, waiting. Presence is not about feeling the silence. It is about hearing what the silence is saying. And most people cannot hear it. They move too fast, too certain, too eager to arrive somewhere. Curiosity, the forgotten turn on instead of being somewhere. When she speaks, she may not use words. Her hips may shift away when she wants you to slow down. Her breath may hitch when you graze a place she forgot could feel. Her voice may soften into a murmur, not out of submission, but out of the quiet recognition that finally, someone is paying attention. You do not become unforgettable by overwhelming her. You become unforgettable by attuning to the subtle, the barely there, the whisper of desire before it becomes a scream. That whisper is everything. The anticipation before the kiss, the way your fingers rest just above where she wants them, not to tease, but to ask. Do you trust me to wait with you in this wanting? Most cannot. Most rush to satisfy, to resolve, to conquer. But satisfaction without suspense is forgettable. You remember the ones who knew how to wait, who made you feel like desire itself was a place to be explored, not a problem to be solved. Presence is erotic. It is not passive. It requires a certain audacity to stay, to feel, to witness, to not flinch when she trembles, to not take over when she hesitates, to not disconnect when her eyes close, and she becomes someone you don't fully understand. Because desire transforms, building emotional containers for her fear use. And the moment you try to contain it, explain it, define it, you've already lost her. She wants to be found, not figured out. She wants to be felt, not fixed. And that is the real work. To sit inside the unknowing, the ambiguity, the storm of her erotic self without demanding clarity. Can you do that? Can you? Her without trying to organize her. Can you meet her as a mystery instead of a machine? This is what makes presence unforgettable. You look at her as if you've never seen her before, even if it's the 1000th time. You touch her not with habit, but with wonder. You're spawned not from reflex, but from reverence. Every moan is new. Every movement is a revelation. Not because you are doing something new, but because you are doing it differently, more slowly, more sensitively, more willingly. She wants to feel that you are with her, not just on her, that you are moving not just through the motions, but through the moment. Presence is a kind of erotic generosity. It says, I'm control through calm, not ego, not just here for my pleasure. I'm here for ours. I want to feel what you feel. I want to know where your skin wakes up. I want to dwell in the corners you hide, the edges you retreat from, the softness you forgot you had. And to be able to do this, you must first be present with yourself. You must know your own body, your own rhythms, your own needs and fears and shames. Because the ones who are most forgettable are the ones who are disconnected from themselves. They touch without feeling. They monos without inhabiting. They want a response, but cannot handle a reaction. To truly attune to her, you must be attuned to you. You must know the places in you that seek validation, that chase approval, that confuse dominance with attention. You must untangle performance from presence, because they are not the same. You can perform every gesture, every moan, every stroke. But if you are not there, if your mind is elsewhere, she will know. Her body will feel it before her mind does. Something inside her will say, this is not real. And that moment, that tiny fracture, is the difference between being remembered and being erased. Being unforgettable means being brave enough to be slow. Inner vulnerability as your edge world of speed and shortcuts. Slowness is not laziness. It is luxury. The way you kiss her neck without rushing to her breasts. The way your hand travels the length of her thigh just to feel her heat rise. The way your breath hovers against her skin like a question. And you're in no hurry to answer. All of this tells her, I am not here to finish you. I am here to feel you. And that is what she will remember. The lover who made time irrelevant. The lover who did not ask her to hurry up, to open faster, to get to the part where she comes. She will remember how you held her when her body trembled. And not once did you ask for more. She will remember the way you stayed soft when she broke open. She will remember the way your eyes never left hers, not even when she looked away. That gaze, steady, honest, grounded, is not just erotic. It is healing. It tells her, I see you. Not just your curves or your cries, but your whole self. I see your awkwardness, your silence, your contradictions, and I still want you. That kind of presence does not just arouse, it transforms. Because to be seen in your erotic truth, not judged, not managed, not idolized, is one of the most powerful experiences. Speaking with silence, the power of energy a human can have. This is the kind of presence that makes her trust her own body more, that makes her take up more space in her skin, that makes her feel not used but chosen, because you did not rush her. You did not require her to be anything other than real. You showed her that being erotic does not mean being performative. That being wanted does not mean being consumed. That being unforgettable is not about how loud she moaned, but how deeply she surrendered. And surrender is not something you can demand. It is something you earn through your steadiness, through your curiosity, through your willingness to be surprised by her again and again. When you are present, you stop expecting her to be predictable. You stop assuming what she likes, what she wants, what she'll do next. You leave room for change, for flux, for the unknown. And that too is unforgettable. The lover who allowed her to evolve in real time. Her pleasure is not a destination. It is a dialogue. And you are either in it with your whole self, or you are outside of it, watching, waiting, pretending. There is no middle. Her body knows. Her heart knows. Her final words, be the one she can't replace nervous system, knows when you are there and when you have left the room. And once she feels that gap, she will never fully open because presence is safety, and safety is what makes wildness possible. So if you want her to remember, you don't try to impress her. Impressing is about ego. It is about doing something to be seen. But when you're truly present, you are not concerned with being seen. You are concerned with seeing. You are more interested in what moves through her than in how you are being perceived. And that shift from looking to seeing, from taking to receiving changes everything. She will remember the lover who made her feel not just good, but real. Not just desired, but recognized. Not just wet, but wide open. Because you did not her to possess her. You did not her to complete a fantasy. You met her as she was in all her texture and truth. And you stayed. You stayed when her body shuddered. You stayed when she went quiet. You stayed when her face twisted in something she couldn't name. That kind of staying, that kind of presence is rare. And that is why she will never forget.